that they face in the league, just as we're not as well, So yeah, I mean the preparation is about small details because once the composition gets better and then it's higher level of individual and team quality, little things can decide the outcome of the game. And I think the game we played with Al Ali a few years back was a good learning point for us.
We've talked about the whole distraction element for a couple of weeks now. Where is that now in your mind and your clubhouse's mind?
What's that again?
The distraction of the pace situation.
It's frustrating. It is frustrating, and I don't think we got anywhere. But still a couple of days to kind of see. But I think, it's not going to be what we imagine or what would be fair. So I think that's that.
Is it still a distraction?
Yeah, we spoke about it. It's a distraction when you're talking about it a couple of days prior to the game and then after the game. But once we start playing games, I don't think it's on your mind and thinking about that as the game is going on. We're all athletes. We're all trying to win the game, no matter whether it's walk competition or if it's just a training game here at training. So I think once the game starts, then you're kind of in a game mode.
Albert, I mean, when you've done so much to get that point across, what are you prepared to do? What is the group prepared to do if there's no resolution?
It's still something we talk about. It's obviously not just us, it's 3 MLS teams that are part of this. We all have to chip in with our own kind of where we're at. Everybody's opinion can vary, but it's important that we hear each other out and we hear everyone's opinion, and then trying to come up with not necessarily a solution, but how we're going to go about this as players. So I think that's still it's still in process.
Would players sitting out be a consequence, be a possibility at all?
No, I don't think so. I think we worked hard to get to this stage and this tournament, and we've earned it by winning the CONCACAF Champions Cup. I don't think sitting out is an option. Just because that inside what we have as athletes and as winners, and want to go out there and win and prove the people wrong, whether it's whether we're talking about the bonuses or the people not believing that we can do anything because we're in a group of death and all that. So that winner's mentality within us that each and every one of us has I think is bigger than maybe our egos and what's fair and what's not.
Albert, going back to, you said the little things that y'all will need to do. What are some of those things, right? Like internally that you have to show up to play a good game and get a result?
Yeah, I mean, it could be just as a little thing as a second ball on the edge of the box and them getting to it first, and that could lead to a goal. Set piece is another thing that can change the outcome of the game, and it's the little things. Every time you give the ball away, maybe you'll be chasing for the next 5 minutes, and that's not what we want to do. We want to have the ball. So by little things, I mean all the little details that happen so often in a game, but I think in a game like this, we have to try and minimize them. Mistakes will happen, but I think if we minimize the cheap giveaways and kind of costly transition moments and individual mistakes, then I think that will give us a better chance of coming out with a positive result.
One of the things we haven't talked about is just the fact that you guys are playing at home. Speaking of little things, just how much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest plus for us. The biggest bonus is that we get to play in front of our own fans. Me personally, I'm excited to see what Lumen looks like with the grass on it instead of turf. I've never seen it, so we've seen a kind of live camera shot yesterday in a film, and it looks nice. But again, it's so far up that to actually be on it and kind of get through warm-up will be different. I'm excited for that.
How different is the grass and the turf? It's kind of similar as long as there's no rain, but how does that affect you passing and then?
No, I mean, I don't think grass and turf is similar at all. I think it's such a big difference to play on normal grass compared to normal turf. Yeah, you know, when we play those surf games at like 12 noon or 1 p.m.,
hard.
those are rough, right? Because the water just evaporates from the turf in minutes. Where I think on the normal grass, you know, I think you can give it a little bit more water prior to a game. You know, maybe it will kind of soak it in and it will stay a little bit more wet for longer. So, you know, that's a big difference. And then, yeah, I mean, I haven't stepped on the grass at Lumen, so I can't tell you what it's going to be like. Yeah, it's hopefully it's good.
How difficult or similar would you say the prep for this game is compared to, you know, say a Champions Cup or a Champions CONCACAF game?
Yeah, I think it's closer to the Champions Cup than an MLS game. Again, it's, you know, there's so much you can prepare for and watch film and all that, try to learn. But I think it'll be about us as well. You know, can we establish our game? You know, that's been missing last couple of games in MLS. So can we use this new tournament as you know, kind of a restart point in the season? And you know, show how we play and maybe make them adjust to us. You know, we don't want to go out there and just completely sit back and defend for 90 minutes, and you know, don't think that's the strength of ours. So you know, it will also be important for us to be really good, and I think the start of the game will be crucial as well. You know, if we can start on the front foot, be good with the ball, and you know, create a couple chances early. You know, I think that can have a good impact on the rest of the game.
Has there been much conversation around